Welcome back to the channel. This is the Action Figure Grader, and I've got some vintage Kenner mint on cards that I got back from grading with Collector Archive Services. I've got a couple of other recent pickups from Facebook, one on eBay, and I also have this one that we're going to start off with. This is a custom that is awfully cool that I did not know even existed. This is a Stan Solo custom that's meant to look like a 92 back Power of the Force with the special collector's coin. This is a Darth Vader removable helmet. I've talked about this a long time ago and how I thought that this particular figure should have been one of the last 17 figures. It's almost a crime that Kenner did not do that. But what a great job on this. And this is actually the first custom figure, if you exclude bootlegs, vintage bootlegs and things like that. This is one of the coolest things I've ever seen that I did not know even existed, as I said. And this was sent to me as a gift by Dominic R., who is a buddy of mine and channel supporter. I look forward to hopefully meeting you, Dominic, at the, in the after hours kind of lobby sales and things like that over at ICCC. I'm not going to the convention proper, but I do plan on going out there to say hello to a bunch of guys like Chris and folks like that, Five Idiots Talking Toys, and other channel supporters. So for those of you that are going in October, I'm not hosting a party, unfortunately, because it's my kids' fall break. And so I'm unfortunately not able to host a party. My wife said, no, you can't do that. So I'm just going to come out there to you guys during, they have like after hours lobby sales and hotel room sales and things like that. You can often find some really good deals at those. So I hope to meet you, Dominic. But what a cool item. I mean, this is just really fantastic and really shows you what could have been done. And I apologize for the reflective glare there, but this is just an awesome looking custom from Stan Solo. A lot of these Stan Solo customs that you see on eBay, I mean, they've really gone up a lot in value. I mean, it's crazy. I see some like the R2-D2 pop-ups and, yak faces and everything else. And again, I'm not a big customs guy, but you can see there it's got the Stan Solo. But what a really thoughtful and pretty close mimicking, reproduction of these Power of the Force cards. And it just really looks fantastic. So thank you so much, Dominic, for that. That's incredible. Along the same lines, Dominic sent me this a while ago as a gift. I actually sent this out to my Patreon supporters, my usual buy it now alerts. That's one thing that I try to do to my Patreon supporters is say, hey, this just hit the market in case anyone's interested. And this was ungraded. This was a Return of the Jedi R5-D4 that's not clear blister, but it's pretty darn close. And I sent it out, and he, Dominic knew that I've been looking for one. I just was kind of not in a mood to spend money at the time. And so he bought it and then sent it to me. So how crazy is that person? Dominic is a nut, and this one got exactly what I thought it would get, which is a 75 plus. Once I sent it into Collector Archive Services. So this is a 65 back B, R5-D4, card 75, blister 85, figure 85. And I knew that this would probably get a 75 because it's got some very light issues. It's got a very minor kind of litho issue there in the corner. And the card, I think it's really around the hang tab that caused this to get the 75. You can see some kind of bending and folding there by the hang tab. But give me a break. This is a really nice example. And as I said already, this has got just very light yellowing to the blister. It's very faint. So this is about as close as you can get to having a clear blister Return of the Jedi R5-D4 without it being clear blister. And here's the back of the card there. This is a nice close-up, too, of the damage around the hang tab. So I think that's really what held it back from getting the 80 grade. I knew it was on the borderline between a 75 plus and an 80, and it did get the 75 plus, which is what I would give it as well. So it's got the Toys R Us price sticker, but awfully cool. And thank you again, Dominic. This is way too generous of you to send this to me. I now have 6 R5-D4s mint on card. I've got 2 21 back A's, one of them obviously being the red bar R5-D4 inside. I've got a 45 back Empire Strikes Back. I've got a 41 back A survival kit offer, and then the Tri-Logo, Palatoy Tri-Logo, along with this 65 back B R5D4. So two generous, insanely generous gifts from Dominic. Please don't send me anything else, okay? And that goes for all of you out there. I don't have the space, and you guys should spend that money on yourselves. Here's one I did pick up. Well, this is not one. This is one that's already in my collection, but I did get one to match this one. This is an IG-88 that I picked up many years ago from Jeff Collectibles Empire on eBay. He had this at auction, and this is probably now going on at least 5 years ago, if not 6 years ago. This is an AFA 75 Plus 32 back A. IG-88 unpunched. 75, 80, 80 are the sub-scores. It got the 75 mainly because of that crease around the hang tab there. A little bit of card curl to it. I think it also had some litho. Yeah, this is the main reason it got the 75, was that it had some weird litho tears on the back, which I assume was a price sticker that they tried to remove unsuccessfully. Yeah, you could actually see right there a little bit left of the price sticker. If they just left it alone, this one would have easily been an 80 grade, I think. Maybe not. It's got some other litho issues up here, and then that crease goes all the way through. So maybe that's probably, I think it probably still would have got the 75 plus, even with those, if they had left the price sticker on there. But this is one I've had in my collection. It's a beautiful clear blister, 32 back A. Not the debut card, but close enough. And so I saw this one come up for sale on Facebook, and in the Deal or No Deal group. So I did go ahead and grab it. So this is a nice upgrade. I had been looking casually for an upgrade to my ESB IG-88, and so this one did come up. It's an AFA 80 41 back A, the survival kit offer. The interesting thing is that this is a different figure inside. So this, I believe, is the gray body IG-88. And if we can do a quick close-up here, you can see, if I can get it to really zoom in there, you can see there it's got the standard, it looks like, well, no, maybe it is, it's very slight hollow eyes, maybe? Yeah, it's got very slight hollow eyes on this one. But this one is the brighter silver. So I think this one is either the dull silver or maybe the gray. I'm not sure. It might be the gray body. But you can see the difference even in the camera. It's much more pronounced in person, but you can see the differences on how this one is much shinier. And so I would assume that this is the later version, Hollow Eyes Silver Hong Kong, that was kind of the later release, I believe. I think it's the gray body that was on the earlier card back. So you can see this one here. Yeah, that to me looks like the gray body. You know what? I would have to look at my loose graded examples. I've got all the different kind of variations for IG-88. I should have pulled those down, but nevertheless, whichever variations they are, these are definitely two distinct molds to the figure. And this is kind of like, I mean, it's darker, but it's also shinier. So I'm assuming that that's the silver hollow eyes that came on this one. So this is the 41 back A, as I said, 80, 80, 85 were the sub-scores, unpunched, no price sticker. Got a very fair price on this one, I feel like. I forgot who I bought this from. It's been a couple of months now since I bought this. But this one is the survival kit. And here again is the 32 back IG-88. So you can see the differences on those two card backs there. So another very nice IG-88 to add to the collection. I would love to have the debut card. There was one that came up on Rogue 5 Toys that I did not see. It was a 31 back, A or B. I can't remember. I think it was the 31B. But I did not get that one in time. It was very fairly priced at around $675, I believe, was what it was listed for. It did sell, and it was an AFA 80. All right, so that's one. But speaking of Rogue 5, I did pick up another Darth Vader mint on card. This one I already had in my collection. This is an AFA 85 made in Mexico Darth Vader with the archival case. 85, 85, 90 are the sub-scores on that one. So that is a really nice example there. And this one is one that Chris had from Rogue 5 Toys up for sale, ungraded. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to pull the trigger on that. I forgot what I paid for it. I think it was around $450, somewhere in that ballpark. $430, somewhere in there. Maybe my memory's wrong, but Chris can correct me if he watches this video. But this is another punched example. This is not the Made in Mexico. This is just a 65 back B. This one, the Made in Mexico Lily Letty, is the 77 back A. And so this one got an 80 plus from CAS. 80, 85, 85 were the subscores on that. And so that one just got back from grading. I thought it was a little generous to give it an 80 plus. It did have, you know, a fairly noticeable, very small crease in the upper left-hand corner. That was the only flaw, though, that I could really find. There's maybe one little kind of indentation there by the hang tab, some light scuffing right there, but, you know, some light scuffing down here as well. Me personally, I think this one should have got an 80. 80, 85, 85, but it did get the 80 plus, so they took some mercy on me there. But, you know, I thought it was maybe just very slightly overgraded. But nice to have another Return of the Jedi Darth Vader to add to the collection. So we got the 77A, the 65 back B. I also do have a CAS 80 Palatoy Tri-Logo. So the big one that maybe for next year that I'd like to aim for is an ESB Darth Vader. And then I'll call it a day. So we're going to pause it here and we'll recontinue this video once the last item arrives, which should arrive in a couple of days. We had to go wide angle for the last two I'm going to show you. And here is my full, almost, I'm going to show you two more that I just picked up. But this is my full run of mint on card Death Star droids that I've got so far. And it's a pretty good collection here. We got a 65B. We've got a 21A. We've got two 20, let's see what we got here. We got two 20 backs, a G and a D for the 20 backs. We've got an ESB transition 21 back. We've got a 41 back A survival kit offer, a 45 back Star Wars display arena offer, a 77 back, and I just added two more. So this is going to be it for a while, and I have to kind of stand up to show you these two. The first one is a coin offer, and this is one I picked up on Facebook. Beautiful clear blister, and it's labeled 77 back A, AFA 80 coin offer. It's actually a 65B, so AFA got that one wrong. So 65 back B coin offer with the Boba Fett coin offer. So that's the first coin offer mint on card I've got in my collection. I did not have any, believe it or not. But very cool to get that one. But the big one just arrived. It just arrived, and here it is. This was yet another pickup from the CIB auctions, and this one is the Death Star droid on the Palatoy Tri-Logo. One that I didn't think I'd ever get, but very, very excited to get it. It's AFA 85, and while it was a lot of money, I would actually argue that I got a pretty good deal on it relative to the last one I saw that was in such pristine condition. It was on Vectis, and I had Tim from Boss Bounty keeping an eye on it as the auction was ending, and it went for something stupid, like it was either $1,600 US or 1,600 pounds. Either way, it was way too much money after the buyer's premium and taxes and everything else, and it was ungraded. Well, this one was an AFA 85, and after taxes and shipping and everything, it worked out to about $1,240. So definitely a lot of money, but it's one that I've been hunting for many years. And now that I've got it, I've got 10 mint on card Death Star droids. I'm probably going to be done for a while. I wouldn't mind eventually at some point, maybe next year or never, a 21 back C with the secret offer sticker from the, for the Boss Mail Away. I have it obviously on the ESB, but wouldn't mind having it on the Star Wars racetrack, as the Star Wars card back as well. But at the end of the day, I don't really need any more Death Star droids. I feel like 10 is too many, but it's just one of those things I like to do sometimes, is put together these character runs on various card backs, and the Death Star droid was certainly one of my favorite figures growing up. So very cool to get it. We'll do a quick close-up here again. This is one of 6 AFA 85s on the census with none higher. So this is truly a very rare item from a grading standpoint. You just don't find it in this grade very often, since AFA has only graded 5 others in this grade and none higher. So truly a special item. Very, very excited to get that one finally. This was kind of like my fantasy wish list item to get a Death Star droid on the Tri-Logo card bag. It's just not one that I ever expected to come up for sale, much less than an 85 grade. So very excited. So that is really it, and probably going to be it for the year. I mean, I've gone way overboard with recent pickups, and now it's time to start saving and paying for that PayPal credit bill I've got building up on me. I hope you enjoyed this look at my recent pickups. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll be back soon.